The family of a fallen Marine has refiled a $25 million defamation suit against Alec Baldwin, claiming he accused one of them of being an insurrectionist. The sisters and widow of Lance Corporal Riley McCollum say Baldwin got his Instagram followers to harass and threaten them. It was after McCollum's sister shared a photo of herself at the Capitol on January 6th. I want to bring in Gene Casares to break this all down, because Gene, this is complicated, and can you walk us through the initial connection with his family, and then it was dropped, if I'm not mistaken. Is that right?
Yes, that's correct. Let's start about 1 year ago.
Okay.
As we know, when we were getting out of Afghanistan, 13 members of our military were killed, and one of them was Riley McCollum. He was a Marine of the U.S. Marine Corps, and he was killed by that suicide bomber. Not long after that, Alec Baldwin found out about this, and he actually sent $5,000 to the family because he was newly married. He left a widow of just a few months. She was pregnant with their child, and so that money was for her and for the unborn child. And the family just thought that was so wonderful, and they appreciated it very much. Well, this January, the sister of the fallen Marine, her name is Royce, she actually posted on her Instagram a picture of January 6th of last year, right there. She was there. That's not her in the picture, but she was there. And just for background, she didn't go into the Capitol. She was just standing there. When everything started happening, she actually moved and stood by police. A neighbor of hers back in Wyoming actually went to police later and said she was there, so the FBI interviewed her. They told her, "You're clear, no issues, no problems." So she posts that picture this year. Who saw it? Alec Baldwin saw that picture. So he messages her and he says, and this was public, he said, "Are you the same woman that I sent the money to for your sister's husband who was killed during the Afghanistan exit?" She replied, "Yes, she was." He then private messages her and says, "When I sent the money for your late brother out of real respect for his service to this country, I didn't know you were a January 6th rioter." She says, "Protesting is perfectly legal in this country, and I've already had my sit down with the FBI. Thank you. Have a nice day." He responded, "I don't think so. Your activities resulted in the unlawful destruction of government property, the death of a law enforcement officer, an assault on the certification of the presidential election. I reposted your photo. Good luck." And he did. He reposted that photo on his Instagram of 2.4 million followers. Within minutes, she started getting threats. She started getting horrible things being said to her, and she was not an insurrectionist. She didn't do any of that. She just stood there. And one was, "Get raped and die. Your brother deserved everything that came to him." And then Alec Baldwin started feeding in, according to the civil complaint, with his followers, that she was an insurrectionist and that the widow was an insurrectionist and another sister was that. And so that is how this civil suit in federal court was born. It is a defamation suit. They are saying that Alec Baldwin didn't look into what her participation was in January, but he made assumptions, and it's defamation and intentional and reckless and negligent infliction of emotional distress. They're asking altogether for $25 million, $10 million compensatory, $15 million for punitive, which are punishment damages. We've got to read the statement from Alec Baldwin's attorney. Mr. Baldwin donated several $1,000s to Ms. McCollum to honor her husband, and now she's suing him for more because she disagrees with his political opinion about the insurrection that occurred on January 6th at the U.S. Capitol building. We expect to prevail in this lawsuit as we did the last time we filed it. Elizabeth?
Wow. Okay, Gene Casares, you really were able to break down all the sides, very passionate on both. So thank you for that.
Thank you.
Wow.
Something was terribly wrong.
They were being watched.
He heard a scream.
She saw a man carrying a child into the night.
The more they looked, the worse it appeared to them.
The volatility of the relationship began to emerge.
Saw an aircraft in distress.
They vanished into thin air.
Every parent's worst nightmare.
That's when I knew. Knew that something was horribly wrong.
There's a whole lot of blood on the bed.
Retaliation, she says, for his abusive treatment of her.
It was shocking.
There is no way that this was a suicide.
We start putting together some of the pieces to this puzzle.
You know, what happened?
We realized that we had a serial killer.
It's not their first rodeo.
Very dangerous individual.
She had 47 stab wounds on her body.
Butchered.
No empathy.
To think that anybody could do something like that and then leave him there to die.
The truth will come out.